Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.
Hello, my name is Mary Campbell, legal assistant at the law firm of Figueroa and Associates, and your presenter with this week's immigration news. We begin with State Department extends non-immigrant visa interview waivers indefinitely. The State Department announced an update to its discretionary interview waiver policy for non-immigrant visa applicants on December 21, 2023. It replaces the temporary policies in place for almost 3 years. Most importantly, the State Department made this a standing policy that will be reviewed annually, which will decrease uncertainty for many stakeholders. Interview waivers have played a key role in reducing visa processing times at the agency. Generally, all non-immigrant visa applicants between the ages of 14 and 79 are required to undergo an in-person interview at a U.S. embassy or consulate. Economically devastating and politically unpopular, GOP presidential candidates call to purge all undocumented immigrants from America. The 3 leading Republican presidential contenders are openly calling for the mass purge of all undocumented immigrants from the country, including the population of long-settled immigrants who are living, contributing, and raising families in the U.S. Underappreciated, according to Vanessa Cardenas, executive director of America's Voice. The leading candidates in the GOP, Trump, DeSantis, and Haley, are all calling for the purge of 11 million long-settled undocumented immigrants from America. This is chilling to contemplate. The sheer cost, not just in dollars but in the moral fabric of the nation, is too great to comprehend. The mass purge of immigrants would challenge the very definition of what it means to be an American. The claim by Republican candidates that our blood is being poisoned by immigrants is a sign of how divorced from reality their approach to our multiracial democracy has become. Notably, this cruel and devastating policy scheme remains deeply unpopular with the American people. While the public is concerned over the right policies to maintain an orderly border and addressing recent migrants and asylum seekers, there remains broad and durable majority support for legalizing the population of long-settled undocumented immigrants. Meanwhile, in New York, Brooklyn High School baffled by media frenzy over migrant families' one-night stay. Students at James Madison High School Madison returned to classes Thursday without fanfare after the school received hate calls and even a bomb threat for serving as an emergency shelter Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning for migrants with children. The families living in tents in an airfield arrived at the school after 5 p.m. on Tuesday to wait out a heavy rain and windstorm and left the school before 5 a.m. Wednesday morning. Even before their departure, the migrants' presence and the principal's decision to shift to remote classes on Wednesday immediately became a talking point for right-wing pundits nationwide. But some parents, staffers, and students who spoke with the city expressed shock that the school had made it into the national spotlight for what they saw, in the scheme of things, as a relatively minor disruption. In case you missed it, NYREPORT. Asylum seekers have pumped millions into Long Island's economy. New research highlighted in Newsday found that migrants and asylum seekers are pumping millions into Long Island's economy. The report found that for every 1,000 migrants that arrive in New York, they contribute $3 million in state and local taxes. As migrants move into more skilled positions in New York's workforce, their contribution to the economy increases to $4 million. When asylum seekers and migrants receive temporary or permanent work permits, New York experiences an increase in tax revenue, a more skilled workforce, and a stronger economy. In other news, USCIS will launch organizational accounts and online filing for Form I-129, Petition for an Immigrant Worker, for H-1B petitioners. In February, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will launch online organizational accounts and make Form I-129, Petition for an Non-Immigrant Worker, available for online filing for H-1B petitioners for fiscal year 2025. All legal representative account holders and all organizations with an H-1B registrant account, as well as new users, will experience new account enhancements, including improved design and case management features. Biden admin to settle Trump-era migrant separation suit. The Biden administration and migrant families separated during the Trump era told an Arizona federal judge they have reached a tentative agreement to settle a 2019 lawsuit from the families seeking civil damages for emotional trauma. Abbott's immigration rhetoric criticized again after interview response about shooting migrants. During a radio interview last week, Governor Greg Abbott said that Texas has used every tool to control the border short of ordering officers to shoot migrants crossing over illegally, once again drawing concerns about the potential impact of his rhetoric around immigration. The only thing that we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border, because of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder, Abbott said during the January 5 radio interview with Dana Loesch, a former editor at Breitbart News and spokesperson for the National Rifle Association. And finally, Denver mayor's faith guides him on immigration issue as city grapples with migrant crisis, not sustainable. Democratic Denver Mayor Mike Johnston says his city is on an unsustainable fiscal path due to an influx of migrants that's greater per capita than any other major American city. But he tells conservatives who are angered at the country's mounting border crisis that his Christian faith guides his desire to help people fleeing desperate circumstances. Thank you.
Our weekly immigration news roundup is brought to you by the law firm of Figueroa and Associates. For consultation on any immigration or legal matter, please call 855-768-8845. That's 855-768-8845. For full stories and more immigration news, visit www.theimmigrantsjournal.com. That's www.theimmigrantsjournal.com.